everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me as we are about to continue on with the next part of our adventure as we travel throughout Taral in Dawntrail. So just a quick recap in case you forgot from last time. We ended up meeting the Dawn Servant himself, Jaja, and I don't know about you guys, he just seemed like such a fun guy to be around. He gave me that impression that he's the type of guy, if he sees you in a bar, he would immediately go and pick a fight with you. And then afterwards, he would go ahead, buy you a drink, and then sit down just to hear your whole life story. That's kind of the impression I'm getting from him. But also, just as importantly, we ended up meeting the other claimants to the throne, as well as hearing about the very nature of this contest for the right of succession. So we'll just name them off real quick. We have Zaruja. I think that's how you pronounce it, but he's the eldest son. He's the first promise, and he's the warmonger. He's the one that Wuk Lamat was so concerned about. And also, unfortunately, it does look like he has he's pretty popular with the people, basically. He has like a lot of supporters because apparently he's saying that, it's not going to war and conquering other lands. We're expanding our own lands. That's kind of like the propaganda he's going with here. But he seemed like a really serious character, and when he was leaving the palace, like Kryl apparently had some kind of vision with the Echo, and she seemed very, very concerned about him. So hard to say for sure how dangerous he's going to be later on. But we also have the second promise, Koana. We heard a little bit about him from the end of Endwalker, but he definitely seems the one who has the most education out of all the siblings, and he wants to bring innovation and new technology to Taral. And he already did bring a bunch of stuff over. He brought over the Aetherites, dirigibles, apparently a train up north. So yeah, he really does want to continue on with that. Like, he wants to continue to build and improve the lives for the people. Exactly how far he's willing to go, though, it's hard to say, but according to Urinvel, he seems to be a pretty good guy. He and Wuk Lamat get along really well, just like any other siblings. And then we have Wuk Lamat, of course, and she's the one who is trying to preserve the peace that her father built. And you think that more people would be on her side and be supportive of her, but no, that's not the case. She definitely seems to have one of the least amount of supporters apart from Jaja. And they're really mostly elderly people who still remember the dark days where Taral was basically constantly at war with each other. So they're her more avid supporters. Like, they don't want to go back to that. They don't want anything to do with war. So they're throwing all their support behind Wuk Lamat. But apparently, compared to her two brothers, she really doesn't have too many accomplishments under her belt. So people are, hard to say. They really don't seem to have a lot of faith in her there. And then, of course, we have Jaja, who just seems like a complete jerk to me. He's got two heads, but he sure as hell does not seem like the political type to me. So if he somehow ends up winning this whole thing, I think Taral is just screwed. But as for the right of succession itself, it's really interesting how Jaja has set this whole thing up. They're based off the Tuliolo saga, basically his own journey throughout Taral to unite the peoples. There are going to be 7 electors, like these 7 judges, who are going to give each of the claimants a challenge. And in order to continue on, we have to accept and complete the challenge and earn what's known as a keystone. Once we have all 7 keystones, I'm assuming that will tell us where the City of Gold is. Jaja did come out and admit that he had seen the Golden City himself with his own 4 eyes. I guess that's the best way to mention that. Anyway, so yeah, that's basically what the contest is. It's a race to the City of Gold. And yeah, so yeah, it's a lot happened. Like, we really didn't do much, but we did get a lot of information. So we are now at what I like to call the crossroads, where we can explore one of the 2 new zones already. We can either go with the Pelupelu quest line or the Hanu Hanu quest line. It really doesn't matter which quest you take first because you will have to do the second one as soon as you're done anyway. But I think we're going to go ahead and start off with the Pelupelu. So let's go ahead and get right back to it. We have Claire here. Yep, she's all ready to go, as you can tell. I love the new emotes for the Viper. I really do. They look really cool. Can't wait to unlock Pictomancer to see what happens there. So, to Urqopacha, the approachable Pelu is awaiting your questions. What is it you like to know? Our main concern was confirming the state of the road ahead. As I recall, to reach Urqopacha, we depart from the Arc of the Dawn, then take the road west at the first fork. Should we be wary of anything along the way? That is indeed the way to Urqopacha. After the damage wrought by the recent downpour, however, you'll be doing more stumbling than walking. But do take heart, when it comes to rugged terrain, we have a most dependable solution available. Come with me. We'll be back to talk to you in good time, friend Hanu. Meanwhile, you can eat and drink your fill at FFXIV. It's all been arranged. That's nice of her. I mean, we're probably going to be gone for at least a couple days, so... Because I don't think like these challenges are going to be anywhere remotely easy. So, let's see. This Talon March. Are we going to ride the alpacas? I hope so. Oh my, are these fluffy babies our mounts? Even Cryo likes them. The Pelupelu all being small is confusing enough, but those masks make it almost impossible to tell men from women, let alone guess at their age. Talking to a Pelu before we departed was a wise decision. I, for one, would rather not brave a treacherous, slippery trail on foot. Oh, come on, like you've had worse terrain. Oh, why did it have to be alpacas? What's your deal with alpacas? The beasts are sure-footed, that's for certain. May I introduce to you our most dependable companion, the alpaca. Look how fluffy they look. These animals can traverse Urqopacha's steep mountain trails as if they were gentle fields, and all while carrying heavy loads. Our merchants would be lost without them. So they fill much the same niche as our chocobos back home. You don't have alpacas in Eorzea. No, I wish we did. Alpacas are native to Yggdrasil. Eorzea has its chocobos, and the eastern lands have their horses. Why go to the trouble of breeding another pack beast in a place which ill suits its qualities and where it is not needed anyway? Fair enough. But still, I wish we had some. They are so cute. Ugh, but must we ride these little monsters? I get the impression you aren't fond of alpacas. When I was small, and being a bit naughty, I went around pulling on their wool. One of them spat at me, and it was the foulest stench you can imagine. Well, that was all on you, lady. You completely deserve that. Haha, I see. What are they like to ride? Alpacas breed as mounts are inquisitive and docile. Even those without experience find them easy to handle. We're really doing this then. Well, unless you want to walk there. So, was my information useful to you? Yes, very helpful, even if it wasn't what I wanted to hear. Good, I'll take my payment now. Typical merchant! You want me to pay you? I guess I should have expected as much from a Pelu merchant. Let me see what I have on me. The Pelupelu value the act of spreading joy through trade, as you should know. They take pride in making deals that benefit both parties. Oh, okay, I get that. Still, I'm going to be careful with these guys. Here you go, a fair price for your fair advice. Yes, I made a trade with the third promise herself. My friends will never believe this. I shall be on my way now. I wish you safe travels. Off you go then, and thank you. She's at least polite about it. I better not get spit on again. You brought that on yourself. Remain calm and gentle, and so will they. Exactly! Like, I get you were still a little kid, but I'm still not happy about this. But if we need to ride alpacas to reach Urqopacha, then that's what we'll do. Yeah, seriously, you going around and pulling their wool is like going around pulling someone's hair. Like, of course they're going to get mad at you. That was completely your own fault. Don't blame them for that. Okay, so.
Turali poets of yore sang of a mountain that would stand tall, even should all other lands sink beneath the sea. Indomitable and eternal, it arises from Urqopacha, the 100 peaks of time.
That's a poetic name.
Which crawl and fly, only the legendary Valigarmanda could hope to disturb the summit's serene majesty. Yet, with that flying calamity imprisoned by the Dawn Serpent, what great feat remains for those who would claim the throne?
Look at that, it is huge! It's gotta be like the tallest mountain I've seen yet.
So this is Urqopacha. I've never actually been here before.
The air is so crisp and clear.
Mountains everywhere you look.
That one massive peak in particular has quite the presence. It puts me in mind of Som-Al.
That is Urqopacha, the tallest mountain in Yogg-Tural. Its sheer height makes it an imposing climb. But there are other reasons the ambitious keep their distance.
Oh? Do tell.
Where to begin?
Excuse me, but you're Wuk Lamat, are you not? I hadn't thought to encounter one of the Dawn's promise here, of all places. But I should introduce myself. I am Bolnok, a weaver by trade.
Well met, Bolnok. We're on our way to Urqopacha.
Urqopacha.
Oh, truly, I've just come from there, as it happens. I'd asked the Pelupelu who sell me their wool to give me a tour of their alpaca ranch. The head rancher and I shared a bottle of mezcal while he explained the finer points of wool production.
Mezcal? Is that a local beverage?
It's an Urqopacha specialty. A spirit made from distilled agave heart juice.
Yes, and it must have done wonders for my mood, for I tripled my usual order of alpaca wool. They did offer me a discount, though, so it wasn't a bad deal in the end. But listen to me, boring you with my tedious stories. I will leave you before you are lulled to sleep. Goodbye, and safe travels. Oh, silly me. I almost forgot to say the thing I actually wanted to say. Peace for Tural. I agree with your vision, Third Promise. You have my support in your bid for the throne.
I gather from his tale we would be foolish to underestimate Pelupelu merchants.
Yes, they do more than run the markets in Tuliyollal. Pelupelu peddlers can be found everywhere in Tural, traveling from place to place on their sturdy alpacas.
It is
They are
nice, though, to
effusive
know
and
that she's got
engaging
other
speakers.
supporters.
And many's the customer who's been talked into spending more than they bargained for.
They won't find this customer so easily charmed.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't leave her alone. Oh god, we better not bring a Stinny in
Off
here.
the main road. Don't get lost.
It's right there.
Yeah, I mean, her sense of direction can't be that bad, but seriously, we can't bring a Stinny in here. We cannot. He would be eaten alive here. Well, maybe we should keep an eye on Alphino too. So that's 3 people at least we gotta look out for. So, Wuk Lamat, Alphino, and Estinian, so. Oh no! I want an alpaca! I want one so bad now. This is Urqopacha, home of the Pelupelu. Wuk Lamat should have arrived before us. Wakanpelu, I think it's pronounced. Yeah, she's right up there. I mean, how could you lose her already? That's not good. You come all this way for the right of succession? Oh, so this means I'm exchanging words with the future Dawn servant. Please, the outcome is far from decided, but it is a possibility. How fortunate then that I deal in cloaks woven from especially luxurious alpaca wool. Such a garment would look magnificent when draped over the shoulders of our budding ruler. Really? Anyone with eyes can see what's going on here. And a nation's ruler should dress her best for her adoring people. Yes, finery for our finest lady, that's right. Come, Third Promise, my well-stocked shelves are but a few steps away. He is good, I'll give him that. Finest lady? I like the sound of that. Alright, I suppose a quick look wouldn't hurt. What did we just talk about? Erinvel, when did you... Ah, Shatona from far off Jactoral. Northern winters are bitterly cold affairs, I'm told. I cannot imagine how you survive them without a lovely warm cloak of a quality alpaca wool. Yeah, I don't think he needs to worry. No, thank you. I'm not in need of new clothes at the moment, and neither is the Third Promise. Perhaps another time. Of course, my shop store is always open. At least they don't press the matter. You were saying something about not being easily charmed? I was just... As I mentioned previously, the Pelu people live for bringing happiness through trade. They won't cheat you or sell you defective goods. Gotta respect them for that. They will, however, disarm you with their deft turn of phrase, and unwitting customers like Wuk Lamat fall prey to this affordable approach time and time again. Your only recourse is a clear and firm refusal. They won't pursue the matter should you make your disinterest plain. Valuable insight into the minds of the Pelupelu. Let us all take Erinvel's words of caution to heart. Yeah, you're one of them. Oh, I like how Claire and Alize were both like, yes, we're in a firm agreement, and they're looking directly at Alphino as they do that. I guess they still remember Gosetsu's sword and Kugane. All these houses and buildings made to Pelupelu size. And mine, too, come to think of it. Would seem the Pelupelu are also partial to coffee. Why bring that up? I have to see, like how small are they? They're small, but I think I should be able to still fit inside. See, it's like the perfect size for me. I gotta see this. It's a little bit small, but yeah, it's something I could very easily live with. Does this mean like I can go inside like little houses? Doesn't look like it. I mean, the dwarves, like in the first, like little Lalafell are able to go inside their homes. The rest of us can't, but still. Traders of Happiness. Wuk Lamat is ready to search out the Dawn Servant's elector. Not my finest moment, I'll admit, but now that we're here, let's do what we came to do. Find the elector. Do you know who it is? Allow me to propose a strategy then. Kryl, Alize, and I will speak with the merchants. Wuk Lamat, you and Erinvel might try approaching travelers and passerbys. Claire, pray investigate any of the other establishments which catch your eye. Should we learn aught of use, let us relay it to the third province. Okay, so the investigation starts now. Oh boy. The Dawn Servant's elector? Ah, I take it. I thought you were a new face in town, here for the right of succession, I take it. Me, I don't much care who sits the throne so long as they keep Terrell peaceful. People tend not to be in the mood to relax and sip our excellence mezcal once arrows and spears start flying, if you know what I mean. Oh yeah, I get it. That would be bad for business. Speaking of which, would you like a cup? A joy shared is a joy doubled, I say. No thank you, but thank you. Alright, yes, you were asking about that elector business. Being but freshly returned from my trading route, I heard that there's a contest afoot, but not much else. Our head leader, Tobli, could probably tell you more about it. Oh my god, Tobli. Is that like the same Tobli like from Final Fantasy, what was it, 10-2? Yeah, and now that I think about it, it does make sense. There was a character in 10-2 named Tobli who was really small and had like a beaked mask. Electors? Oh yes, I've heard all about the right of succession. They're looking to put a new ruler on the throne, eh? Personally, I'm rooting for Zorolja. Why? If the third promise wins, he'll look to expand our sphere of influence. That means access to more resources and more customers. In the thousands column, potentially. So many new trading opportunities to spread happiness far and wide. Yeah, okay. Others have been coming around to my way of thinking, so I've begun crafting goods inspired by the resilient sun. Would you care to purchase something? No, thank you. No, I will not. Very well. You said you wanted to know about the elector? I could help you, but I won't. I can tell you're no supporter of Zorolja or his policies. Well, that was rude. I'm sorry, I just need to check the gemstone trader really quick. Probably not going to be much. Pack of fillet, pineapple, hide. Yeah, I can't say I'm surprised. We're not going to be getting any cooler stuff until, you know, we actually do some fates around here. Wow, this place is huge. Mablu? Hello there, I'm Mablu. Did you have a question for me? Sorry, I don't know about any electors. You should take a moment to see our prized alpacas before you leave, though. Oh, but be sure to admire them from a respectable distance. Get too close and our nervous darlings may be tempted to spit on you, and that stuff stinks. It happened to a visiting buyer not so long ago. Tobley, that's the head rancher, was so mad at me for not giving a proper warning. No one makes a mistake without Tobley noticing. He knows everything that happens on at this ranch. How much do you guys want to bet that he's the elector? Because they wouldn't be bringing up names like that unless it's a big hint. I mean, if he's the elder, like that other Pelu said, and like the head rancher, chances are he's the elector too. You really have to watch yourself around these silver-tongued peddlers. I almost bought a bottle of mezcal and a stack of blankets, and then there was this enchanting ornament. Focus, girl. Anyway, I did manage to learn about that Tobley is the man to talk to about the contest. Now, if only they share where this head ledger of theirs is to be found. Really? He's also the head rancher? Well, the Alpaca Ranch is not far from here. I say we paid a visit before the others returned. Is that really smart? Yeah, she's someone who takes initiative, kind of like Alize. She doesn't like to wait around. But yeah, as I was saying, like, there was that character, Tobley, from... was it Tobley or Toby? It was something like that. Anyway, from 10-2, and he was this short little guy that had this beak-like mask, and... You know, when I was a kid, I honestly thought like he was some kind of mutated penguin or something. I mean, this is a world where you have like giant shoe puffs, so it could have happened. So I'm wondering if this is like the same kind of personality type Tobley. Oh, that is a lot of alpacas. Still, we know the head ledger could be found here somewhere. I can't let fear deter me. Not to say that I'm scared, of course. Sure. Sure you aren't. Excuse me, is one of these workers Tobley? Tobley? Oh yes, he likes to mingle with the ranch hands and keep an eye on things. I can't tell you which one he is, though. You can't? Is this part of the contest? All I can say is that Tobley often mentions his favorite pungent subject. He also can't resist a profitable trade, though who among us could, am I right? Still, if you bring him a very good deal, he might let his identity slip. So it's like a game. Easy enough. All we have to do is offer Tobley a deal he can't ignore. No problem at all. Well, maybe one problem. I don't think my purse is deep enough to pay everyone we think might be Tobley. Let's ask some questions first to narrow down the field. Great. We can meet back here to share our impressions. I'm usually not that good at this kind of thing. Huh? Well, obviously I'm not Tobley. I mean, oops, I shouldn't have said that. You're meant to find out for yourself who Tobley is, or if an elector is even in the village at all. Good luck! Yeah, you pretty much told us all that we needed to go. No. Visitor from across the salt, if I'm not mistaken. Be warned, the alpacas will spit if you startle them. I suggest you keep your movements slow and deliberate. I'm guessing this guy's Tobley. Because like, he went ahead and warned us right away, and that's something that that other girl was mentioning, so. You think I might be Tobly? Well, maybe I am. All I will say is that in this village, none have reared more alpacas than I. Am I Tobly? Yes, that's me! Excellent work from the Third Promise and her entourage. Sharp instincts. Shall we commence the rite of succession then? Yeah, no, that's not possible. So it has to be that other person. Like, where? Oh, right here. So it had to be like that first Pelupelu that we spoke to. I see we're both done with our interrogations. So who do you think it is? I have my suspicions, but let's hear your pick. The diligent ranch hand. Was it the diligent ranch hand? I think so, yeah. Ah, the worker's so intent on stable chores. I have my eye on that one too. Time to rip off the mask of our mystery ranch hand, so to speak. We know it's you, Tobly, and to prove it, I propose a deal. A generous sum of coin for confirmation of your true identity. An offer I gladly accept. As you have correctly guessed, I am indeed Tobly, head rancher of Urqopacha, and head rancher of the family ranch. I am also one of Galu Jaja's chosen electors. Aha! In a place featured in the Toliola saga, just as we thought. I was right to trust in your instincts, and I wager this won't be the last time. She found you out fair and square, Tobly. I'm glad she did. Would have been a pity had her bid ended here. Ooh, getting a cutscene.
Deducing the Dawnservant's elector was the first step of the feat. Too simple a task for this aspiring ruler, eh?
I see what you're doing.
Right. Not hard at all.
You're not fooling anyone. Oh! Wasn't expecting to run into him so quick.
Zorolja.
I am told the head ledger, Tobly, is to be found here.
You have to guess which one of us is Tobly. That's part of the test.
Aww.
You're Tobly.
Without even asking a single question. Very impressive indeed.
I'll give him that. That was
With our
impressive.
prologue out of the way, we can proceed to the actual challenge. Per the Dawnservant's instructions, I was free to devise any manner of feat. I considered a number of possibilities in the 10th column. But I think I have a good one. You must go forth and capture for me an alpaca.
Okay. Why?
While I've not had the best experiences with alpacas, aren't they generally docile creatures? That doesn't sound like much of a challenge.
Bring out the example!
think Tobley's funny. Oh no. Something bad's about to happen, isn't it?
This is a special kind of alpaca. Would you please approach the animal, Third Promise?
Who? Me? Well, it should stay calm if I stay calm, right? That's what Erinville said.
Oh boy. This ain't gonna end well.
Ah! The little monster spat on me! Oh, that stinks. I can't.
Real impressive, Wuk Lamat. Real impressive.
Alpacas are paradoxical creatures, being both extremely curious and extremely cowardly. Press your luck when they're frightened, and you'll get a face full of spit, as you've all just witnessed. Has an awful stench, their expectoration. The globs contain half-digested food, you see, making it an effective deterrent against perceived threats.
Wild valley breed like this one are especially timid and can therefore be quick to lash out. They're also especially hardy.
Indeed. We take the rugged wild alpacas and breed them with our gentle domesticated stock. This produces the strong but beatable pack animals prized by our traveling merchants.
Makes sense to me.
That's all well and good, but did I need to bathe an alpaca spit for you to make your point?
So, the task is to catch a wild alpaca.
That is correct. But be warned that it is a feat easier said than done. I suggest you prepare well before you enter the valley where the creatures dwell. And by you, I mean the claimants only. Allies are not permitted to assist with the catching.
Sounds fair.
The alpacas will help me judge which of you is worthy of receiving a keystone.
I mean, if it was up to us, we'd probably catch in like less than 5 minutes.
So I'm
We got
to
so much
chase
experience
down
of that.
a fluffy, spitting demon, and that somehow proves I'm fit to rule?
The lovely
As I
spitting
said,
demon.
the Dawn Servant granted me the freedom to decide my challenge. And when you reach the end of the rite, I dare say you will understand why I chose what I chose.
Very well. This won't take long.
Wait! Didn't I warn you this was easier said than done? There are preparations to be made, factors to consider.
A beast is a beast. All yield to strength.
Yeah, I don't know if I like him.
So far, this experience has done absolutely nothing to improve my opinion of alpacas. But that doesn't mean I can't do this. Revolting spit aside, they're just another animal.
Are you all right, Wuk Lamat? We thought we heard you scream.
The third promise does not scream. It was more of a startled yelp.
Scream, in other words.
Yeah.
Did you find the elector?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we certainly did.
I mean, if you'd sent me into the valley, I'm sure I could find one. I have a lot of experience catching animals, so... So this is our sought-after elector. Zeroja puts me in mind of Garlemald's own exalted son. Of the two, though, Xenos was undeniably more arrogant. Judging by the volume of Wuk Lamat's scream, Alpaca exploration must have a nasty odor indeed. I'm content to remain ignorant of the smell. Yeah, me too. I had to go and wash that nasty stuff off my face. I think I got it all. But would you mind taking a sniff for me just to make sure the stench has ruined my sense of smell? Yeah, no. Hey, I saw that look. Okay, so the feet of gold. Marinbear wishes to discuss the feet of gold. As Wuk Lamat helped demonstrate, the Valley Alpaca are wary of people. Getting close enough to catch one will not be an easy task. You might have warned me about that earlier. I have enough trouble with tame alpacas. How do you expect me to wrangle a wild one? With the proper saddle, we infuse the leather with a relaxing scent that soothes the spitting beast. Wonderful! Give me one of those then. Have you perhaps forgotten we are a clan of merchants? If you want a taming saddle, you'll need to find a saddler and make them an offer. They don't come cheap, of course. Crafting a saddle will cost you the equivalent of 10 pel in the thousands column. 10,000... 10,000? You mean 10,000 pel? I don't have that kind of coin. Converting to gil, that comes around to 1 million or so. How about if we all pitch in? Yeah, no. No, this is my feat to accomplish. I wouldn't feel right about having others pay the cost. I'll find the money. Somehow. In that case... that basket of wool is worth the sum you paid me earlier. 1 pel in the hundreds column. So that's like 100 or like 1,000 gil. Beginning with the wool, you can trade for ever more valuable goods until you have something suitable to bargain with for the saddle. Oh, I see where this is going. That's a nice gesture, but you think I can turn 100 pel into 1 million? That's 10,000 times more. Ugh. We need 10,000 pel, not 1 million, so we're looking at 100 times more. Oh, right, I panicked and got it confused with Alphino's million gil. I'm not so sure about this trading idea. You were almost talked into buying a cloak you didn't need mere moments after you arrived. Yeah, that's true. But I hate it when you're right. Then let me help you with your deal making. Hello again. Mablu. I work here as a ranch hand, but I also learned a lot about the peddler profession. It's alright if I eat them now, yes? I guided the claimants towards the first step of the feat, just like you asked. As long as Wuk Lamat goes alone to capture her alpaca, she is free to accept assistance from whoever she likes. Hooray! Let's see about getting you that saddle then, third promise. I don't know why you made your offer, but I could use an ally with a beak for bargains. Come aboard! Welcome aboard, Mablu. Should the rest of us stay behind, perhaps? Maybe easier to haggle over prices without so many voices chiming in. Yeah, stay here and pitch in with the ranch work. With my blue gone, I'll need extra hands to tend to the alpacas. Really? Gladly. Although, Claire, I think you should go with Wuk Lamat. You've seen markets and bazaars the world over, and surely have sage advice to share. In that case, you should also hold on to the alpaca wool. If it's misplaced or soiled in some way, you'll have nothing to bargain with. Yeah, he doesn't trust her. He does not trust Wuk Lamat at all. As if I'd do such a thing! But I'll leave the wool with Claire anyway. Better to keep my hands free. Now this should be fun. To begin with, I suggest we try trading the wool to Javi, the saddler. He won't agree to the deal, of course, but he'll give us an idea of how much he'll accept for his wares. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, can we just offer to go off and kill some monsters or something? I mean, that would probably make things so much easier. So, the saddle maker. Something I can do for you. We've come to bargain. I need one of your special taming saddles to catch a wild alpaca. Saddle is it, and how will you be paying for it? With this basket of fine alpaca wool. Yeah, he does not look impressed. What use does a saddle maker have for wool? Besides, this would barely cover the cost of a single strap buckle. Offer me something I actually want. And what might that be? Mezcal. I like to nurse a cup at a day's end while I inspect my finished work. Bring me a jug of quality stuff and you got yourself a deal. This bodes well for us, third promise. Such mezcal can be had for only 5 pel in the thousands column. Oh, 5,000. Probably be easier just to buy it then. Hold on. Did you say third promise? Then my offer has changed. The saddle is going to cost you a jug of premium mezcal, aged 3 years at least. 3 years? That stuff is valued at 10,000 pel or more. Why have you doubled the price? Because I must support the man of ambition who'll see my business prosper. Zoralja will go to war and his cavalry will need saddles. Lots of saddles. Really? It's nothing personal, third promise, but I won't sell you my craft for anything less than my asking price. Well, what a jerk you are. Can't say I blame him. I'm known for championing peace, and peace is unlikely to bring him more customers. Those of our grandparents' generation remember the dark days when the clans were at war. Many of these Pelu pray for your victory, Wuk Lamat. The younger ones, though, to them, strife and bloodshed are as children's stories. They think themselves safe from these horrors and take the peace we now enjoy for granted. Ah, I get it. Still, others are unsatisfied with this quiet prosperity and crave the future the second promise envisions. They've become obsessed with innovations like the dirigibles that have made trade swift and easy. Then you have those like Havli, who are convinced that the First Promise's plans for conquest will afford them opportunities for great profit. Well, you can't really make a profit if everyone's dead. What about you, Mablu? Aren't you of the younger generation? At least a year or two younger than me, I'd say. Wouldn't it be funny if she was actually a lot older? Oh, I was raised on the old tales. I memorized the accounts of what it was like when the Urqopacha ruled our village. That's why I offered to help. I want you to become Dawn Servant, to keep your nation from going back to the way it was. I like her. Well then, I guess I'd better make sure I win the contest. But the type of mezcal the saddle maker wants is so very expensive. Aren't we expecting to need 10,000 pel from the outset? Nothing's changed, we just need to get on with it. I may not have a head for trade or the stomach for alpacas, but I won't give up with the piece of Totiolo on the line. And neither will I. We will make you Dawn Servant. Aiming for that 10,000 pel jug right away will only bring us failure and frustration, so let's first try exchanging the wool for anything even a touch more valuable. The trick is to find someone who needs alpaca wool and is willing to trade at a loss to acquire it, as someone who supports your bid for the throne, for instance. Who would that be? Oh, I forgot all about him! Yeah, he might be able to help us out. Of course, the weaver, Bolnuk, was his name, I believe. He went out of his way to say he agreed with my vision, and he was here to buy wool. I think I remember the direction he was going, but for now, let's head back to that road where we first met him. Oh man, that's a nice touch. I did not even think about him. Okay. I wonder what the villagers would think when they see something like this going through their village. This is the spot. After Bolnuk talked to us, he walked off to the south. Then he's probably going to Urqopacha. Most visitors to Urqopacha end up staying there. Let's go and check, shall we? I'm already exhausted. Okay. So I'm thinking maybe I'll just end the quest here. Just real quick, I'm just really tired all of a sudden. Goes in. Yep, we found him. Was nice and quick. Can I have that basket, Claire? Okay, worth 1 pel in the hundreds column. Thanks. Now let's see if we can turn a profit. Bolnuk, I'm glad we found you. Are you interested in making a trade? Third promise, you wish to do business with me? Might I ask what this is all about? I see. So the goal is to turn that basket of wool into a jug of 3-year-old premium mezcal. and allow me to invest in your efforts. Peace in Toral is what allows me to cross freely into the lands of my suppliers. Naturally, I would prefer that one pledge to preserve that peace will take the throne. Thus do I humbly offer you this wool poncho, a small token that I pray contributes to your victory. Jeez. Oh, that's fine craftsmanship. A garment like that would easily fetch 5 pel in the hundreds column. It's very generous, Boltnook. Thank you. I promise I won't let you down. I have every faith in you, Third Promise. May fortune bless your future dealings. Can't believe you quadrupled your investment with your first deal. We're off to a spectacular start. It's only because Claire remembered our weaver friend. All I did was hand over the wool. That's not true. The connection you build with people are vital. This is one of the most fundamental precepts of trading, one which you've instinctively mastered. You think so? I mean, I know so. Now let's take our 500 pel poncho and trade it for something even more valuable. Here, Claire, you take the poncho. If I lost it somehow, Ernville would never let me hear the end of it. All set. Our next deal is waiting to be found. Okay. Let's hand it over 100 pel. Okay, so we made progress. We made progress. That's what matters. Leveraging connections is a sound strategy, but we should also consider supply and demand. An individual in urgent need of a good poncho will offer more than a merchant simply looking to stock his shelves. That makes sense, but how do we know someone needs a poncho? I mean, even if they're not wearing one, there's no guarantee that they don't have one. They have a fabulous sense of style, I guess. I mean, I've met a few people like that. And I sure wouldn't mind taking a poncho, if I have to be honest. It's a nice sturdy poncho, but the design is traditional. I don't think fashion is part of its appeal. It's only those people with a practical need would be interested. Yeah, but how would... Yeah, it's the obvious answer, isn't it? We look for a person without a poncho and hope they're eager to buy ours. Yes, there you go. We find the demand for our supply. So where should we begin our search for prospective buyers? There are any number of places, but we could do worse than starting right here at the inn. There might be interested travelers. Who here needs a poncho? A lot of Mamuja hardly wear anything to begin with. Those are probably Landsguard or sellswords. Mamuja who soldier for a living prefer not to wear much above the waist. It hampers their movements. So even if they have bare shoulders, Mamuja carrying arms can be struck off the list. Well, that one's got a weapon. The next one has a poncho already. That one has a weapon, so I'm guessing it's number 4. Let's see, no coat or cloak, but also no weapon. Ooh, we might have a winner. Oh there, friend. You're not a mercenary by trade, right? I was curious about your bold choice of dress, or lack thereof. Oh, it was no choice of mine, believe me. I was attacked by beasts on the way here and barely escaped with my scales intact. My coat was not so lucky. I'm actually a toolmaker from Tuliolo and was dressed quite smartly, all the better to show the Pelu I am a man who takes pride in his appearance and therefore his work as well. And now look at me. Well, sir, this is your lucky day. What a splendid poncho. This would be the perfect replacement for the coat I lost. We'd be willing to part with it if you'd like to make a trade. One of your fine tools, perhaps. What about this hatchet? I crafted it myself and will vouch for its quality. Blade looks sharp. The haft well made. I'd value it at 1 pel in the thousands column. Oh, from 500 to 1,000, we have a deal. Wonderful. Fine garments such as this should put me on even footing with any Pelu merchant. Like the anomalous owner of Pelupelu Mate's Garden, for one. Her field hands use hatchets to harvest the mate, and I thought to impress her with the tool I sold you. No matter, I have other wares to sell. Glad I am to have met you. Guess I know where we're going to next. Did you hear that? We already found our next buyer. To Pelupelu Mate's Garden we go. Yes, but it's a fair distance on foot. We should take alpacas. Oh, come on, this is good practice for you. These ones will be the calm type, right? I don't know. I like this. The excellent trade. It's actually kind of cute when they made the change like that. So we increased our sell from 500 to 1,000. Boy, I'm suddenly so tired. Well done recognizing that toolmaker as a potential customer. If you have a mind to change professions, you'd make an excellent merchant. Oh, no thanks. Too bloody for me. Okay, feet of gold. Okay, so the next one is known as Mablu's Dream, but I'm gonna have to call it there just really quick. I have to head out real soon, so yeah, that was something else. Really not sure exactly how to describe it, but you know what? I can kind of see what's going on here. Wuk Lamat has a lot of potential, but you know, how do I put this? She lacks experience. She's naive. I guess that's really the best way to actually describe it. While she's young, she has potential, meaning that she does have a chance of being able to rise up to become Dawn's servant, but she does need a lot of help. She needs someone to hold her hand and walk her through these next few challenges. So that's basically the impression I'm getting. And I mean, Mablu went ahead and really talked about like the whole political stance that everyone's taking. A lot of people are really supporting Zaroja because, you know, he's expanding territory, and of course war does do wonders for business. Not that it will help if you end up killing everybody, and there's always a chance that Zaroja isn't going to bother paying for those saddles. He could just march right in and take those. I mean, that kind of seems like something he would do, despite the brief interaction we've had with him. He doesn't seem like the nicest guy. So it's kind of hard to say how I feel about that. And a lot of people are really interested in the whole innovations that Kona has planned. And it's really, it seems that a lot more people than we first thought are interested in the idea of peace that Wuk Lamat is champion. So, yeah, it's kind of hard to say. I mean, I think that if we do end up going to war, which is kind of what's going to happen. We do see Tuliolo being attacked from the launch trailer and everything. And after people actually get a taste of what war is like, all that fear and death and destruction, they're going to be like, oh, hell no. No, no, no. We don't want this. Like, they're going to throw all their support behind Wuk Lamat. That's what I'm betting happens anyway. So, yeah, that was our introduction to the Pelupelu. And yeah, we're going to be going on a very interesting journey to try and capture a wild alpaca. But first things first, we actually have to get the saddle so that we actually have a chance of getting to the wild alpaca. So yeah, that's going to be it for now. I hope you all enjoyed this and you're looking forward to next time. But until then, everybody, please take care. See ya.